NFTs have changed the crypto landscape forever. This video is going to cover the broad picture of the NFT ecosystems, blockchains that have grown like crazy in 2021, but more than that. By the end of this video, you're going to know what the top 5 collections are, what the collections and markets they're linked to is, and also plans for future developments. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome back to BeInCrypto. My name is Jessica, and guys, if you are new here, subscribe. We bring you these videos regularly. Now, before we dive into the details, we'd like to mention how we decided what the top 5 actually are. Our data source is cryptoslam.io, and our main criteria is total sales, which is sales for the entire existence of the retrospective blockchain. Of course, some have been around for longer than others, but we feel that the space is still pretty young, so this is a really fair way to rank. Second criteria as well is type of project. We decided that sidechains of Ethereum would also make the cut, so Axie Infinity's Ronin might also be included in here. At number 5, we have Wax. This is a blockchain that was built for NFTs. It has everything needed by companies and creators to share their collections with the whole world. So Wax can actually support the full spectrum of NFT activities. This covers everything from games, marketplaces, dApps, and exchanges. They can all work on this decentralized system. Now, according to dApp Radar, Wax actually supports 6 marketplaces, which the most prominent one is Atomic Market, which has seen a huge $312 million worth of traded volume since its launch in early 2021. But the most impressive stat for Atomic Market is the number of traders. Over 800,000 traders have traded NFTs on the platform, making it second most popular after one, which is, you've guessed it, Axie Infinity. 3 most popular collections hosted on Wax are Farmer's World, Farmer Tales, and Alien World, but only the first one manages to break into the top 10 collections, reaching number 13 in all-time high sales. But this could change pretty soon, as there has been some really solid support for Wax from the likes of Amazon. So the online retail giant actually announced last week it's invested in Dibs, which is a marketplace for fractional trading of sport trading cards, which is built on, you've guessed it, Wax. So with a solid backing like this, Wax could climb up the ladder of 2021, so watch this space. At number 4, we have none other than Solana. We've covered this blockchain extensively on the channel, but we probably haven't focused on the NFT angle too much here. So here we go. Solana has seen a huge rise in adoption in 2021, and even though this is basically their first year, a really large community has grown, and around its ecosystem, this has been a thriving community. So when it launched, the primary message was that it would be a blockchain focused on financial transactions and higher speeds and lower costs than Ethereum. Now, while this still remains to be the main theme, NFTs have become a crucial part of the Solana ecosystem. Solana has 5 marketplaces in total, 2 of which are in the top 10 overall. So the likes of Solana, Magic Eden, Solana Monkey Business, Digital Eye Market, and SolSea, they've all provided access to a solid number of collections that have attracted around 115,000 users so far. This is the lowest number in our top 5, although still pretty impressive. According to the latest data from dApp Radar, the traded volumes on these markets are just over $1 billion, while CryptoSlam has it at 800 million. Now, given the number of users and the volume, we see there being some really valuable users trading NFTs, which bodes well for future collections that will be looking to get some higher rewards. But speaking of collections, we can say the ones on Solana are among the most popular. None actually managed to rank into the top 20, and many are quite similar to those found on Ethereum. Examples of this are Degenerate Ape Academy and Solana Monkey Business. The highest ranking unique collection is Aurora, which is found on Solana, and this comes from the Play to Earn desktop game. This actually ranks at number 36 by all-time sales volume. So one area that we really want to highlight to you guys where Solana NFTs seem to be gathering speed is celebrity adoption. Last week, you might have heard former First Lady Melania Trump actually announce she'll be creating her own collection of NFTs on the Solana blockchain, and each will have a starting price of 1 Sol. But she's not alone. Basketball legend Michael Jordan is also set to enter the NFT craze. As reported by Basketball Network, Jordan will actually be associated with his colleagues, launching a new app called Air in 2022, and its goal is to become the definitive platform for fans and collectors who want to launch, create, and trade NFTs. Air will actually be built on Solana blockchain, and the project has already raised $10 million from early investors like Solana and Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian. Now, NFTs are set to be one of the main driving forces behind Solana's growth next year, especially with sports celebrities lining up to join. But our next NFT blockchain is also looking at winning that market share. Let's take a look. At number 3, we have Flow. The design of this Flow blockchain has games and digital assets at its core. It was developed by the star-studded team at Dapper Labs, which has already had some pretty successful projects under its belt, like CryptoKitties and Dapper Wallet. Dapper Labs was established in 2018, and similar to Solana, it's had some solid partners. A long list, but most important names are NBA, Warner Music Group, and also the UFC. The similarities with Solana really continue on the fact Dapper has had some very prominent investors. Again, there is another long list here, but we'll share just 3 key names that should give you an idea of just how serious the financial backing is here. Google Ventures, Samsung, and of course Andreessen Horowitz are among the early investors. Here's where the similarities end, and here's where it might get interesting. Flow has a completely different approach to how it will go forward with the NFT space. It relies more on premium branded content, games, and creates, as opposed to the community bottom-up approach that we see with Ethereum and to a certain extent with Solana. The Flow blockchain has only 2 NFT marketplaces, NBA Top Shot and Starly. Starly is a relatively newcomer, which is why you might not have heard of it yet, with less than $400,000 in revenue, while NBA Top Shot is definitely a crown jewel up there. It single-handedly achieves the 3rd position of all-time high rankings with almost 500,000 traders. The NBA branded collection and design really aims at mass adoption and have resulted in rapid growth, which is showing no signs of slowing down. Flow has the largest number of transactions, surpassing Axie Infinity's Ronin, which has almost 3 times more users. But perhaps more importantly, NBA Top Shot is a proof of concept. The NFL is already lining up its marketplace called NFL All Day. So if this manages to gain the same traction as its NBA counterpart, Flow could become one of the top 3 blockchains of all time. And of course there's more. European football leagues are also looking in to get in on the action, with La Liga also planning to join. So should that provide good results, the Premier League and its global reach could follow suit, and then we might see a new top dog in the space. We'll have to wait and see. Getting closer to the top with number 2, we have Ronin, Axie Infinity's Ethereum sidechain. It's the underlying infrastructure for the game and is used for gas fee payments when players exchange their Axies. Well, Ronin itself is actually from the same mold as many other examples of layer 1 blockchains. This is the intermediary between groups of users that share the same economic objective of exchanging value. None other different to Ethereum, PayPal, or even eBay. Now, why we're talking about this one is many credit the move to Ronin as the defining moment for Axie's exponential growth, as it bypassed the Ethereum network and allowed for faster transactions and lower fees. Although Axie is the only game on the Ronin chain at the moment, there are plans for future games to be hosted on it, as well as other types of dApps. This is the first example here is Katana with their very own decentralized exchange. But it's all about Axie at the moment, and the Ronin chain isn't even 1 year old, but the popularity of which the game underpins has brought almost 1.5 million traders at the exchange with a staggering $3.8 billion. Wow. So this is by far the largest traded volume for a single collection. There are only 2 other collections that have passed $1 billion mark. We'll get to them a little bit later when we'll discuss our number 1 later on in the video. Until then, back to Axie. Axie is the phenomenon right now. It's the leader of play-to-earn games. At the time of recording, it currently has 350,000 concurrent players and a total of 2.5 million monthly users. The Pokemon-inspired NFT game is even acting as a stable source of income in countries with less developed economies like the Philippines and Venezuela. The latter actually accounts for 40% of all total users. But there is a challenge when it comes to this project, and that's the reliance on just one project. This is the only one on our top 5 list. All other have multiple projects in the pipeline or rely heavily on building many more communities, whereas Ronin is solely focused on Axie. Now, time will tell if this is the correct approach, and maybe it is, who knows, but maybe Axie Infinity can keep growing at the same pace for more years to come. We'll have to wait and see. And our number one NFT blockchain on the ecosystem is Ethereum. We have Ethereum up next, the original NFT ecosystem and the undeniable leader in the space for almost all metrics. Over 90% of digital assets are ERC-721 tokens on the network, including Axie Infinity, which, as we mentioned as well, is a sidechain of Ethereum. The most popular collections have entered the mainstream media, and now it seems everyone has heard about CryptoPunks and Bored Apes. Bored Apes alone has had sales of over $1.8 billion. That's according to CryptoSlam, which is, as we know, an insane number for just such a new asset class that's been around for a short time. NFTs on Ethereum, though, have been created left, right, and center in the past year, but this has taken a toll on the network itself, and we all know higher gas fees have been an issue, but they've resulted in challenges like SOLANA that have really taken a foothold in the space. It was also the reason that Ronin and sidechain actually came into existence. But Ethereum is working on improving the situation and preparing to shift to a proof of stake next year. Scaling and lower gas fees are expected shortly after. Let's take a close look at what the building blocks of the Ethereum NFT ecosystem are. So we have to start with OpenSea, as it's the largest NFT marketplace by far. Total traded volume of OpenSea was a whopping $13.2 billion. This is more than all of the others put together. Wow. Of course, many of them are focused on single collections or don't feature too many, whereas OpenSea tries to connect with as many as it can. And so far, it's done a pretty good job at it. But one of the most important keywords for NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain is ecosystem. There are over a dozen marketplaces and overall sales volumes are over $11 billion. It's second to only Ronin in terms of users, but interconnectedness is offering most likely a lead to steady growth in people buying and selling more NFTs on the network. Now, two marketplaces that we also have to mention here are Decentraland and The Sandbox. We've covered both of these in previous videos on this channel, so I'm not going to go into too much detail now. You can always check those out in the future videos that we've done. But 2022 could be the first year of rapid growth for the metaverse. So keep an eye on these two, as they could become drivers for really strong numbers for the NFT Ethereum marketplace, which you can see we're there with the ecosystem. So what has this video covered? Well, just like anything in the crypto space, the NFT ecosystem is evolving. The top 5 today are designed with connectivity in mind, as well as the ability to branch out into other directions. Those that do manage to find the right balance between doing their own thing and staying relevant will most likely not only keep growing in the NFT space, but also see their tokens being wildly adopted more. In any case, NFTs seem to have carved out their place under the sun and will most likely lead the way in changing the Web3 landscape, where money, work, and fun will change forever. That's all from me. I hope you found the video useful. Guys, if you have not already, make sure to subscribe to not miss any more content like this. Have amazing holidays. See you all again in the new year.